Hey mamas, Christy here to give you some tips on how to help you get back down to your pre-pregnancy weight or how to help you achieve a healthy weight in general after having that little baby. Today we're going to be talking about carbs. A lot of you may be thinking in order to lose weight you're going to have to cut carbs completely out of your diet, but that's not necessarily true. In fact, carbohydrates are important. They are our body's preferred source of energy, so we want to make sure we're getting small amounts of them in our diet every single day, especially if you're breastfeeding. There are a couple things you need to know when it comes to carbohydrates. First thing, there are two types of carbohydrates. Number one, simple carbohydrates, and examples of those would be cakes and cookies and white bread and white rice and potato chips and things of that nature. The second type of carbohydrate, complex carbohydrates, okay, those would be like oatmeal and brown rice and whole grain bread and most vegetables would all be examples of complex carbohydrates. Now you want to be choosing complex carbohydrates most of the time, and the reason is because complex carbohydrates typically have a low glycemic index, and what that means is that it's going to help stabilize your blood sugar and it's going to help you lose weight, okay? Glycemic index is a measure of food and its effect on blood sugar, and you can find out more information on glycemicindex.com, okay? Simple carbohydrates tend to spike your blood sugar. They typically have a high glycemic index, and so you want to try to stay away from those as much as possible. The other thing that you need to remember when it comes to carbohydrates is portion size. Okay, you have to practice portion control when you're eating anything, whether it be carbs or protein or fat, because it all has calories, and if you're consuming too many calories and you're not burning it off through exercise, you're going to store fat and it's going to lead to weight gain. Okay, so you have to be careful with your portions. Make sure you're reading the labels of those packages so that you understand what a serving size is of each of the food that you're eating. Okay, now I'd like to share something with you. I eat rice every single day and it has never made me gain weight, and there's a reason for that. Okay, number one is I always practice portion control. It's really easy to overeat, especially when it comes to rice. But a serving size of rice is a half of a cup, which isn't really much. I use this little ramekin to measure my serving, okay? It's a half of a cup of cooked rice, and this is what it looks like on a plate. This is brown rice. I also use basmati rice, which is really great. It has a low glycemic index, and it doesn't really make that big of a difference on your blood sugar levels. Basmati rice and brown rice are both healthy choices when it comes to carbohydrates. So it doesn't look like that much on the plate, I know, but when you put it on a plate with 3 or 4 ounces of meat and a nice salad, it actually looks like a full plate of food. And it's very filling. You have lots of fiber here in the brown rice and in the spinach, okay? And then, of course, the meat is very lean, but protein is always very filling, okay? So this is a very well-balanced meal. And if you put it on a smaller plate, it looks like a lot more food than it actually is, okay? So remember those tips when choosing carbohydrates. Thanks for watching. Bye.